Hello, ladies out there in YouTube land. I got a great question asked of me today. How to get a man to be faithful? That's a great question. So I'm going to have a little bit of fun with it. How about this? How to get a man to be faithful and maintain faithfulness. Maintaining is the most hardest part. Why? Because when problems start arising in the relationship, when people start to feel unappreciated, and so many other factors that can come into play, men can stray. We all know that. And I'm sure a lot of you have had that happen to you. So how to maintain faithfulness? Well, you got to foster a great relationship from the start to the end. How do you do that? Well, you make him a priority. A lot of women sometimes can make a person feel not appreciated. That you don't want to do. So how do you not do that? You constantly make sure that he knows from the time that his day starts in the morning to the time that it ends at night, that he is important to you, and what he does to you affects you and his family. Because as we all know, sometimes men can come to the conclusion that they're not significant, meaning that if they do certain things, it's no big deal that the woman will forgive them. Well, even if the woman will forgive him, if you make sure he knows that you expect a lot from him, that you think that he is important, that you're constantly showing him that he comes first in your life, and you're reminding him of how fragile your heart is towards him and how much faith you have in him and how much you believe in him, when he knows that any infraction that he does to you will affect you and his family drastically, then he's going to make pause when it's a frivolous woman out there. First, you got to be in his mind. You got to be in his heart. It's important that you tie yourself to that man mentally and emotionally. Men have emotions too. Men have minds too. Don't get caught up being always swept away by the man and letting him dominate your mind. Remember, you got some say-so in this too. Dominate his. Control his heart. How? By making him always think of you. So that can bring up another topic. How do you get him to think of you? All day, every day. Easy. By constantly keeping yourself on his mind. Keeping up with him. Say as many positive things to him as you do when you get upset. If he receives long text messages from you, long voicemails from you about what he's doing wrong, spend some time telling him what he's doing right. Spend more time doing that. Keeping him from straying is very simple, yet hard. And that is putting him first, making him feel important, spending time with him, including him in all your decisions and your thoughts, letting him know you thoroughly, letting him know that pain you're going to feel. Make him feel when he does something. Let him feel some of that pain you go through when he does it to you. How? By showing him that, hey, baby, I tell my girls that you don't cheat. Hey, I tell my friends that you're this kind of man. And he will not want to disappoint you. Now, if you chose a guy that stands for absolutely nothing, then there's nothing to build on top of. But if he has some kind of foundation, which I'm sure that he does, because that's what made you find him so attractive in the first place. That's what made you give him a portion of your heart to begin with. Well, if that's the case, build on that. That potential you see in him, you let him know. Don't keep it to yourself. Hold him liable. Make him accountable. Be his best friend. Cling to him, and he'll cling to you. Make him responsible. Soup him up. Get him prepared. Make him understand. Because, ladies, understand this. That sometimes men do things believing that they can get away with it. They do things believing that it's not going to have a huge impact. They do things with no care, with no thought. But if you show him what he can devastate, what he can destroy. Let him know the lack of faith that you would end up having, what it can cause to the relationship, the pain that you will endure. Let him know what he will get himself into. Not just the bad consequences. Don't threaten the man, but show him what he can do to you and the hurt that he can cause to the relationship. Because us men, except the very mature ones, the ones with the most experience, men really, truly don't understand relationships quite like you all do. They don't understand that what they're doing will have a effect for months and years to come. They don't know that. So show them that. Let them know it's going to be a 6 months argument. It's going to be pain. Because sometimes when they experience over and over the pain that they do to a woman, they see the anger, not the hurt. Let them know the hurt. Let them know how important it is and that everything they do affects your life. And that'll give you something to work with. Remember, there's something good in him or you wouldn't be dealing with him. And the fact that you would even ask that question made you feel like you at least hooked somebody. To you, at least to a degree, he separates himself from other men. So turn your boy into a man if he's not already, by letting him know what pain he will cause. You got to teach a man how to love. It'll be worth your time.